What's going on, guys? This is Damian from The Lookout, and I am here with BMK, who got 16th place at Gencon Online Regionals with none other than SS4 Goku Xeno. How you doing, mate?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome, man. Like, congratulations. SS4 Goku Xeno, like, this is a monster of a deck. Like, this deck is insane.
Oh, 100%. It's super, super aggro. I love it.
So let's start briefly by, I want to ask you, in this new meta with BT26 legal and everything, why did you pick SS4 Goku Xeno for this tournament?
The problem is the thing is I love playing black, and so I used to run SS4 Vegito, but the problem I saw with it is it could be completely stopped if you negate leader swing. But with this leader, even if they negate it, I can still get my burst off, I can still take a life and draw a card, and I can still get set up.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because your leader is on front side. When you burst, you get your setup for Overrealm. On the other side, if they stop, you still got your setup. You're just gonna start kicking them with battle cards.
Exactly.
So let's then start for the viewers who don't know. Can you just quickly go over the leader?
So, Son Goku, when it attacks, it'll automatically just burst 3, and you'll add a card from life to hand, and you'll draw a card. The only awakening condition is 4 or less, but they have added a Z extra to actually help that out. And then on the awakened side, it's a base double strike, which I absolutely love. It's such a threat. And its permanent is during my turn, my leader gets plus 5,000 power for every 8 black battle cards in my war, which is super easy to do. And then the activate main once per turn is place up to 4 black battle cards from my warp into my draw area to then draw a card. I love this ability just so then I don't have to swing in order to draw a card.
Yeah. You don't need to swing. You can set up your next Overrealm. It's a really insane ability. Just baseline double strike on a leader, which can become huge, is like, man, that's it.
It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. It's a leader who's a constant threat. Like, that's insane. So we'll be going over cards in the deck, guys. So let's start with this new staple: 4 copies of SS4 Son Goku and Vegeta combo attack.
I think I love this card. It's especially between the new Z extra that this deck got last year, and then with the Demigra, I'm gonna need to charge a lot more Z energy, and this card allows me to do that and replace itself by drawing a card in return.
Yeah, that's one of the things. We'll get to the Z deck. The Demigra is 2 Z energy, and now you just get to Overwhelm, draw, swing, and then charge your second one easily. That's an amazing ability.
Yep, I love it.
Then we have, we have the card that Beyond All Limits. We have 4 copies of probably one of the best cards in black. This card is an absolute monster.
100%. I just being able to recycle between my 3 and 7 costs just makes it amazing.
Yeah, And it's gonna be relevant a bit later, guys, because the deck is also running the big guy. But okay. This one I would like to ask. So next we have the counterplay. I believe that's currently you tell me, but have you managed to? Usually, when was the earliest that you would be able to set up this counterplay? Because I have a feeling like this deck can set it up very, very fast.
If I wanted to, going second, I could do it turn 1.
Yeah, that's
I could set it up turn 1, getting ready for my opponent's turn 2.
that's insane. Like, this is. So can you, for the viewers who are watching, can you give like some tips? There are some matchups where you would look to set up the counterplay as best as possible and hit something specific.
100% against Tapion. I think if you don't hit him down to 4 life with this deck, going second, if you can get that Unison set up so when they try to play that Hirudegarn, you can just warp it before they can awaken, it completely stops them.
That's awesome. It's one of the ways to stop the big scary Tapion. And of course, it is a beast to go into the Union Fusion later. Speaking of, 4 copies of Thwarting the Dark Empire on steroids. So SS4 Vegito, oh my god, like, this boss monster does everything. Like, this card is insane.
This card is absolutely amazing, especially in this deck where I've gotten this card out turn 1 going second before. It's actually insane.
Jesus, turn 1. Oh god. Man, no one wants to see 30k double strike swinging on turn 1. That's insane, man. Wow. Then we have 3 copies. Well, the other part that you need for fusion, SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit.
This card is one of my favorites in the deck. Just being able to on Overrealm just warp any cost battle card, non-barrier, or just saving it till turn 3 just to make it crit is just so viable, and being able to just deal a lot more damage and remove board.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, man. Like, there are a lot of ways to get like crit, and yeah, at some point the pressure the pressure is way too much. Speaking of Vegetas, we were just discussing this card before filming, because a lot of decks that I have seen in the previous few days, a lot of these Gokus dropped this card. Tell us, how good is Time Agent Vegeta?
I absolutely love it. I think being able to just, when you burst with your leader, have a chance of being able to free play a 19k that can end up turning into a 30k double with the Vegito, I think is absolutely amazing. I don't have to pay a single thing for it.
Yeah, it's a completely free fusion piece. Like, that's it. Like, you just swing, you get it. It's insane card. Then moving on to 1-drops, we have 4 copies of Son Goku True Fighting Spirit. Okay, you used this for awakening, or is it just like gear for the counter ability? I would imagine more for the counter ability, right?
I use it for multiple things. I use it for that early aggro swing, plus taking a life, plus getting that plus 10 added on to the Union Batara, making it a 40k double rather than a 30, just adds that even more pressure.
Yeah, now, it's clear I am not good at playing black, but now that you've mentioned, like, yeah, plus 10k remains when you Union Potara. Okay, yeah. Now I see it. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? 40k double. Oh, that's an insane one. This one is one of my favorites. Revived Ravager Vegeta. Man, this card is so good.
Oh, I 100% agree. I love just being able to, especially sometimes on turn one, going second, just burst a 3, overwhelm into a 15k crit that then replaces your drop, and just adding that effect of, oh, now if you take a life, it's just going to go right to the drop.
Yeah, it's so strong. Like, just that you can do this, what, first turn, if you're going second, you burst free, go into a crit, and then just refill the drop. Like, it's such a strong card. Absolutely love this one. For barrier removal, we have 3 copies of SS Cumber. Do you think 3 was... did you find 3 copies enough?
I actually, if I'm being honest, I did not like this card in this deck. I'm actually planning on switching it out for Robelu, just because with how fast I'm going, I'm trying to kill turn 3, and I'm not as worried as much about their barrier as I am about just trying to hit their life directly.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, though. Like, I think it's a staple in black, but you're right. Just looking at it, you're not really concerned about barrier. I imagine even if it's barrier blocker, right, you're just swinging so many times that, like, doesn't really matter. But the Robelo card is insane. Like, the new Robelo is gonna make this deck even crazier. Then we have, this one is from the anniversary box. 2 copies of Mask Saiyan Belligerent Warrior.
Absolutely, I think this card is an absolute staple in this deck. Just being able to, as soon as you overwhelm, play a 20k crit that warps 2 cards till the end of your opponent's next turn, including tokens, is crazy.
Yeah, it's so cheap, and it's just early game removal. It's such a good card. Such a good card. For Super Combo is the standard. 4 copies of Prince Strikes Back. You're playing red. You're playing black. You're not playing anything else. And then we have we also have 4 copies of Supreme Kai of Time, Guardian of Space Time.
Yep. I love running 4 of the Space Time just because turn 2, there's times I've made my leader a 40k double strike crit, and no one's going to try to combo over that because they're wasting more cards in their hand.
When did you say turn 2 40k double crit?
Yep.
Oh god. Oh man. We have, that's insane. We have the mandatory SS3 Gogeta. It's the mandatory SS3 Gogeta. For the SCR, I can't imagine that you would run anything other than Evil.
Yeah. Evil Saiyan, absolutely staple in this deck, especially the amount of times that I burst. I don't want to end up crying on the inside when I burst my ultimate. And so, rather than doing that, I just keep the Evil Saiyan in.
Mm-hmm. Considering how fast you close games, right? How often did you actually play the SCR just to win? Considering that you're looking to win like turn 2, turn 3.
I've played it about twice in some of the longer games I've had. There was I think 2 times where I've gone to turn 4, and it finished out the game for me.
Yeah, the card is such a monster. Like, in my opinion, best black SCR.
By far.
Yeah. Defensive, we have pieces. We have 2 hostile Saiyan encounters. Yeah.
I think it's such a good card, just being able to activate a negate from the drop or warp at any time. As long as I have as long as I have 2 or more life. Really good card.
Yeah, really good card. And now we're running a very, very small amount of extra cards here. They're just negates with 3 copies of support and 3 copies of power burst.
Yep. This deck, I'm trying to kill so fast that I'm not really worried as much about my defense. I do want to be able to survive if I don't get the kill, so I am running some protection. But I want to be able to combo as high as I can to add that additional pressure, so my opponent pretty much just loses their train of thought.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Like you're looking to kill ASAP. You'd rather have combo power and attackers. Like, man, like this deck is insane. Let's check out the Z deck. 3 copies of the Z extra body and soul 10 times Kamehameha.
This card alone, when they released it and I read this card, just made the deck 10 times better. Being able to pretty much almost guarantee Awaken turn 2, making the deck a lot more aggressive. Plus being able to, if I activate my leader ability, to just warp any cost battle card is really, really good. And then to activate battle it just adds even more pressure when I can make my own leader +5 and crit. Just make it +5 crit. So I can swing without even having any battle cards in my warp, a 20k double crit, and then just combo up from there.
Yeah. It's insane. I'm gonna stick by my guns and say, like, I think this is one of the craziest Z extras ever made. Like, it's very specific, but it's so pushed. It does everything, man. And on top of that, when you use Activate Battle, it also bursts too.
Yeah. I've had times where I burst 2 and I burst 2 Supreme Kais, and it helps me out a lot more.
Oh man. We have 3 copies of one of the craziest Z Unisons as well, 3 copies of Demigra.
Love this Z Unison. As soon as I saw this Z Unison leaked out, I knew 100% that I was going to rebuild SS4 Goku. It fixed its problem. It fixed SS4 Goku's problem of not being able to have the Unison out continuously, and I could just always have it in the Z deck and bring it out whenever I was ready.
Yeah. Plus, it's just one energy. It's 2 Z energy, but it's just one energy. It's not even that much of an investment. It's such a crazy card.
Yeah.
And I remember when they revealed it, and players were like, "Well, there's no black archetype this set." I'm like, "What do you mean, man? Like, everything, so many things are playable now." So there is a black archetype, SS4 Goku Xeno. Oh man. moving on to one copy of Boo. I think this is a pretty standard, right?
Yeah, always just having one just in case I need that additional blocker. Also trying to get something off of my opponent's board that I don't really like there.
And we now have one copies of Surmounting. Yeah, I can't. Did you use this much? I can't imagine. Maybe.
I used it once. I wanted to get at least one extra card in my hand, a couple extra cards in my hand, and I ended up killing that turn. But I actually brought myself down to 1 life just so that I could make sure I had even more cards in my hand, so then I could combo higher.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Then we have the SS4 Goku at a single copy. Another SS4 Goku that can just close games. Crazy card.
One. Love that card, and if for some reason it doesn't get a kill, I can just Union Patara right on top of it and finish it from there.
Yeah. And the last card in the Z deck is what? The last card.
Honestly, it was a filler card.
Oh man. Okay, it's a filler card, right? Let's go to the side. So we have 2 copies of Demigra to start off.
I actually am probably gonna switch this out. I never really needed it.
Really? Not like... Because I imagine that you use them to get... You, in theory, would use them to get rid of the Vegito, right?
Every time I face the Vegito, I've already hit them down so much that they actually usually don't even get their Z Unison out. And by the time they try to get some of their pieces out for Overrealm, I can just warp it with the counterplay.
Yeah, true. Okay. Then we have 2 copies of Kind Negate.
I use this more for some of those higher cost battle cards that I can't get rid of. Mostly for against green, sometimes blue. For those high 8 costs.
Then we have the mandatory 2 copies of Koitsukai. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. You have to run the Koits in the current meta. 3 copies of Super Kamehameha.
Yeah, with Kid Ku running rampant and plus Yellow having the Bardock Floodgate, I want to see these against Yellow and Red. Being able to stop the Chiaotzu from negging my Unison early on, and for me to swing through Bardock by just countering it, it makes it so much better. I actually had twice this last regional where I Super Kamehameha the Bardock and I killed that turn because of that.
Wow. Nice. No, I'm very happy to see these counters for battle cards. Like it's an amazing meta call. But what? Two copies of SS Cumber Berserker Rage. Okay, I'm a bit lost. Help me out here.
This is for I saw from the last regional where Hatchek actually topped. And so the problem with my deck is I run 7 or less, a bunch of 7 or less. So being able to bring out Sight in an 8 cost just in case, that can be a triple striker or a double duel, helps in that matchup. It was more kind of a precautionary sideboard card.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I forgot that Hedge ran rampant very, very recently. For hand destruction, 2 copies of Dabura. Yeah, that's standard stuff. And finally, in the sideboard, 2 copies of your own Floodgate, Bardock the Tenacious.
Yep. Luckily, I didn't face Tidku in this last regional, so I didn't really have to pull it out. I didn't really face too much of any aggro decks, but it is there for stuff like Go Hanks or Tidku, those more aggro type decks.
Awesome. So, guys, this was the deck. Link is in the description below. And BMK, do you have any shoutouts?
I would like to shout out my local store, EXP Lounge, and all my buddies who have helped me practice and train for all of this and have helped me through all the way.
Awesome. And thank you for joining us here for this deck profile. Once more, congratulations, mate. Guys, this has been Bmkay'S Top 16 SS4 Goku. And this has been Damien from The Lookout. And I'll see all of you in the next video.